Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Hey everyone, this is Landon Saunders.
And this is Nate Patterson with Cloud9 Fiber.
We're excited to finally be able to offer Lawrenceburg our blazing fast, reliable, and affordable fiber internet services.
If you're looking for a more reliable and more affordable provider, we at Cloud9 Fiber have you covered.
Plans start at $50 a month, and we can offer up to a gigabit to your home or business.
We are excited to be able to offer your first month of service entirely free. We encourage you to sign up on cloud9fiber.com or by calling 931-201-9098 so we can help you make the switch today.
Make your property rock and roll with services from G&S Excavating, specializing in white sand, compost, mulch, topsoil, landscape gravel, and steel landscape edging. Turn to the pros who know how to make your project shine with years of experience. The best part is they're locally owned and operated. Choose from a vast selection of mulch and rock from their conveniently located facility at number 3 Valley Road in Lawrenceburg, just off Buffalo Road. Phone 931-279-3841 and get started today. Lawrenceburg Flooring and More is your premier source for hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl tile, sheet vinyl, residential and commercial carpet, carpet tiles, ceramic and porcelain tile, waterproof floating floor, plus blinds and shutters. Lawrenceburg Flooring and More is also home to all name brands and can tackle projects big and small. Installation? You're covered with installers who've got years of experience and stand behind their work. Let Lawrenceburg Flooring and More make your design dreams a reality. 2760 Highway 43 North or visit lawrenceburgflooringandmore.com.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center. Let our family take care of yours.
From our humble beginnings to today, Parks Lumber Company has continuously served Lawrence and surrounding counties for over a century. Although we started as a small lumber yard in 1896, we have grown to include everything you need to make your dream project come to life. No matter your building needs, our experienced staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure you receive the highest customer service and attention to detail you deserve. Visit us at 106 2nd Street or on Facebook. We guarantee you will see working with PLC is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Welcome to X Sports Today. I'm AJ Good, joined by Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, and Hayden Burks. And guys, a beautiful, warm Tuesday afternoon. We hope everyone is staying hydrated if you need to be outside for all the teams that are going through any sort of practice, which is why everyone is going in the evening because it is blue blazing hot out there right now. So hope everyone's doing good. Everyone on this set doing good here so far this afternoon.
Yeah. Good day so far, yeah.
Hanging in there, a little warm, but you know, we got nice AC in here, so I'm not going to complain.
Nothing to be worried about, Taylor.
Nothing to be worried about other than the Braves just continue to suck, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty accurate statement. I mean,
I did not see that coming.
It's not too far out.
Hey, it's pretty good, but the Braves still suck. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Well, they do have a chance to get back on the right track, going to Sacramento to play the A's. So two bad teams, and only one can come out on top. Let's hope it's the boys in gray and blue tonight. Let's get into a little bit of NBA news. Actually, a lot going on On this Tuesday, last night, the Orlando Magic, their star Paolo Banchero, agreed to a 5-year, $239 million maximum rookie contract extension. Could reach to $287 million. Mike Miller of Lift Sports Management told ESPN on Monday. New deal includes triggers to elevate the base salary to the Supermax should the Magic franchise cornerstone make either an All-NBA team or earn MVP or Defensive Player of the Year next season. He also has a player option for 2030 and 31. So Magic making sure their star is going nowhere right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Paulo. Really wasn't sure. Me and Michael talked about a few weeks ago on our SEC tailgate ranking, like the past number 1 overall picks. He really wasn't projected to be a number 1 overall pick, but he's shown that he is a number 1 overall pick for Orlando as they got him with in the 2022 draft, and has shown it. Been to the playoffs now for the second time in his career, in his young career so far. I believe he's only 22 years old too. So I mean, bringing him in for another 5 years, $239 guarantee, could go up to $287 and a little bit more with MVP and all that. So looking forward to Paulo. Obviously has been dealing with some injuries as of late, but the whole Orlando team. But they bring in Desmond Bane, so I could see Orlando, going from that bottom in the play-in, bottom playoff team to maybe in the mid-pack around maybe 5-4 or the 3 seed this upcoming season.
Yeah, and we've seen the NBA, talking about those incentives, and stuff like that. The NBA MVPs usually come from a 1, 2, or 3 seed, and Orlando, again, with adding Desmond Bane in the offseason. I mean, Banchero's only gotten better. Was Rookie of the Year his first year and All-Star the next year, and then averaged almost 26 points this last season. So, if he can keep getting better and the Magic can keep trying to contend in the East, I mean, I don't think it's crazy to say that, I think he will be on an All-NBA team this year, maybe first or second team, who knows. But, he has had a very good start to his young career and deserves every penny that he's going to get out of that contract.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, you kind of look at the way that Orlando's, obviously, yes, they're trying to always contend and try to get back to I'm trying to remember the teams they had when Dwight Howard was over there. It seemed like they're trying to get back.
They made the finals in 2009.
Yeah, that's right. They made the finals in 2009. So, they're trying to get back on track with that. And, I think this is, obviously something that they need piece-wise. So.
And he's only the third Magic player to ever average at least 25 points in a season. So, I think this is – he's not a Shaq or a Tracy McGrady kind of player like those other two were. But his style and just the way he plays, because he's that 4 or 5, can extend the floor, can handle the ball really well. I mean, he is the perfect kind of player that you want to be the head of your team in this era of the NBA.
Especially a point forward.
Yeah.
Only 8th player in NBA history to average 25, 7, and 4 at the age of 22 or younger. So pretty good start right there. But, him and Wagner, Suggs, and Desmond Bane at least have them under contract till 2028, 2029. When we talk about how wide open the East is, I think this is a team that doesn't cross most people's minds, but probably should.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you look at the overall how the East is. I mean, Cleveland, they're going to be back at the top there. Not sure what Boston's going to look like. They lost Jason Tatum to Achilles tear. Indiana as well, not sure what they're going to look like. New York will be there up there, obviously. Like you said, there's other teams like maybe Toronto or Brooklyn. They probably won't be, where they need to be. Philadelphia will probably be back in the mix as well. So, I mean, as wide open as the East is, I mean, we could see Orlando stay put where they've been at around that 7-8 seed, or we could see just a crazy resurgence where they're number 1, number 2 seed in the East too. It's just wide open how wide open the East is, and it falls right into play with bringing in Desmond Bane, a guy who could shoot the 3, and that's what we saw from Orlando. They were, I believe, ranked 29th in the league when it comes to overall 3-point shooting as a team. So they obviously brought them in, and they're going in the right track, and then extending their star, Banchero, it really helps, kind of solidify where they're at in the East right now.
Yeah, and they got a really good draft as well. They got a good late first-round pick in Jace Richardson, the son of Jason Richardson, who had a pretty good NBA career. So, the future's only looking up in Orlando. It kind of feels like that mid-'90s vibe we got with them when they had Shaq and Penny.
Right. And going off of what Hayden was talking about, with the East feeling like it's wide open, it definitely is. Obviously, we would still know that Boston's probably going to be in contention to an extent. New York's probably going to be in contention to an extent. But when you look at the teams who were dominant this year, Cleveland, Boston, And you obviously could throw Indiana in there, especially with the late push that they had. I mean, you look at things now, and it's like there's a real opportunity here for Orlando, not just Orlando, other teams like Philly, you have Miami potentially. You have a lot of teams that are now looking at the East, and it's like, we have a chance. Let's try to get some pieces. And Orlando, it's not like that they need 3-point shooting from what happened last year. But you take a look at some of those teams, and it's like, not really too bad. Just get some other pieces, and then the fact that you don't have, the potentially Boston trying to run the table or something, there's a chance for Orlando and any of these teams.
And looking at the East, just some of the teams, kind of topping it off. Boston, you don't know what you're going to get from them this season. You don't anticipate a very good season from the Pacers either. I mean, the East really is wide open, like you said. Philly, I mean, Detroit's obviously going to be there, and now Orlando, with them in Atlanta, that kind of looks like a toss-up in the Southeast Division.
And you look at the OKC model, youth, and it's what Orlando is building with. You mentioned, Cleveland, Boston, a lot of veterans. The Knicks have got a lot of veterans, and now all of a sudden you got to look out for the Detroits. You got to look out for the Orlandos, who are
because these young guys are starting to pan out
and develop in a big way. So these are things that people and they're not afraid of these veterans. Yeah. Detroit's not afraid of anybody. They'll fight anyone at any point, any time.
As Isaiah Stewart.
So they're not afraid of any of those guys. So the East is even more wide open. I think it's just a smart move. Hey, you got a good guy. Don't try to pinch pennies with him. Go and pay him when you got the opportunity. Well, we're going to switch a little bit over into hockey right now, and they just, at least according to ESPN sources here, full membership. The NHLPA ratified a new collective bargaining agreement, or CBA, will begin not this coming year, but the next year, 2026, 2027, runs into 2029, 2030. Here's the big things coming out of this, guys. Shortened preseason. They're going to extend the regular season to 84 games. Short max-term contracts capped at 7 years for a player re-signing with his own club, 6 years if they sign with another team. My personal favorite, permanent emergency backup goaltenders for all teams.
I'm here for it. Let's get some fourth grade science teachers in there.
Yes,
I love it.
Yeah, I love those, because that was rumored for a long time that the NHL was going to do away with that. Yeah. But I think they did the right thing, because it's just where all these teams are, and you're traveling during the winter. It's just impossible to get a minor league goaltender over there in time,
and it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't remember how recent we've had one, but
it's Toronto. I think Toronto or Carolina had a guy basically play the whole game and win it. Yeah,
I would say that's the one I was thinking of. This guy just comes out of nowhere, and he's a professional goalie all of a sudden. Yeah, at least for one night.
Yeah.
Changes to long-term injured reserve rules that include a postseason salary cap on the total salaries of the active players in any given playoff game, elimination of the player dress code on game days, so good for them, standardization of draft rights expiring when a player is 22 years old, so I guess it's you get drafted, you don't want to go.
Yeah.
They can't hold you past the age of 22. Okay. I'm sure there's some sort of limit there. Increasing minimum salaries, so good for them. Elimination of deferred payments in contracts, so bye-bye Bobby Bonilla.
Yep.
NHL's not dealing with that anymore.
Oh, man, when can we get this in every major sport?
And also a lot of fun, they are going to have the extension of the commitment to the Olympic participation through 2030. So obviously the big one that sticks out, we've seen the NFL do it. They've gone to 17 games. They're already in talks to go to 18 games. And baseball's not going to go past 162. If anything, they're talking about contracting that down a little bit. And here we are. We have one sport that thinks it's too long. Not everyone. I don't think anyone on the set thinks it's too long, or I could be wrong. Basketball to 82 games, and now you got the NHL going, no, we're going to go to 84.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, it's branching out. It's being different. Yeah. And hockey isn't a sport that we've seen a problem with people over the years just saying, okay, they're playing too many games. They're getting hurt. They're not given time to get healthy, stuff like that. So, I do think it's interesting for the game of hockey. I don't know if it's going to put 2 games earlier, make the season start earlier, or make it
shorten preseason. So
okay.
I think they play 7 preseason games. They'll probably shorten it to 4. Maybe 3.
I think that works out just fine. And hockey, again, it's not my favorite sport, but I've slowly started getting into it a little more. Watched a lot last season, so I think for getting people into the game. Having a longer season gives them obviously more opportunity to kind of catch the game, and I think hockey's doing a really good job growing, especially with ESPN and TNT kind of fighting for rights right now of who gets to, and the games are all televised almost nowadays, so I think it's great for the game.
I think it is too, and I mean you're only talking about extending it. What was it, 2 games?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean you're not talking about a huge extension, but the thing that is comparable in a sense with football and hockey is it is a contact sport. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's not the equivalent of football, but it is a close cousin to it. Yeah. So you don't want to go into that realm of, 84 did good, we're going to go 90.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go 100 or something like that. So you do need to worry about and take into account physical wear and tear, injury potential, stuff like that. That's why I'm not really completely on board with the NFL wanting to go 18 games. I feel like if you want to extend the season to an extent, then instead of extending it with a next game, try to extend it schedule-wise. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like we were talking about, what was it? How many NFL games have we had on Christmas? That when Christmas does not fall on.
Well, I know Netflix has a deal that has given them a game every year. I think they did 2 last year.
So I think we had two or
yeah.
3. I know it was for sure 2 Christmas games last year.
So if you're wanting to do something like that, keep it at 17 games, but try to find a way to sprinkle
work it in on the holidays and stuff like that.
Here's a couple of Christmas games. Here's a couple of New Year's games.
Yeah.
If you want to extend it like that, you have the ability to do it. But from a football side, I don't really like the 18 games because it's already long enough, especially with the postseason play with NFL, and you're a lot more physical contact and a lot more injury prone. Hockey, I don't mind it going to 84. You're just adding a couple of games, but don't try to set that precedent where we just want more. We want more. We want more.
Yeah. And I think when you look at this CBA, it's not only is it owner friendly and organization friendly, it's player friendly because they're extending the games, but also the league is agreeing to increase minimum salaries.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's one thing the NFL's not doing is we're talking they're already at 17 games, but they're not paying them more.
No.
If anything, your paycheck's going to be less and less each week because you're playing more
games. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so the NHL is at least doing that, but when you look at this short max-term contracts, which that's very player-friendly, so you're not stuck in a place for 10 years with no way that hurts the team and hurts yourself. And on top of that, getting rid of the deferred payments, all of those things. There's a lot of good stuff in here, but I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was, like we're talking with the NFL, okay, you want to extend them out a game or two, well, pay them more.
Yeah.
And the NHL is saying, okay, we're going to make you play 2 more regular season games. However, we'll pay you a little bit more as an incentive to do that.
I was thinking, that we're extending games, and the NFL is a sport. It used to only have 16 regular season games, so throwing another game or 2 in there, I mean, that's adding another part of your season almost. Yeah. That's digging into the playoffs. The Super Bowl used to be the first Sunday of February, and now it's fallen to the middle of the month almost. But one thing that stuck out from this, I like the rules that include a postseason salary cap because we've seen teams. I'm not sure if it's as big a deal in hockey, but we've seen it in the NFL and baseball especially, where teams kind of stack up on players right before they get to the playoffs, and they have a loaded roster going into the playoffs. Yeah. You're not gonna be able to do that anymore without having at least having to pay them.
Yeah, and that again, that's player friendly and it's organization friendly because that way now you can cap incentives where you're not paying guys this ridiculous amount, so that way you can even it out for everybody else. At least that's what you hope that they do.
Yes,
you can never trust some of these organizations sometimes.
To give it to NHL, this is like I've every time there's a big one that comes out, I try to read at least like the short takeaways from every CBA that comes out. This one's good.
Yeah,
I mean usually every time there's one that comes out, you're like, that's so stupid. You just keep going through. It's like, this is all terrible ideas. Other than extending the season a little more and shortening the preseason, I don't think there's really any problems with this. Like you were saying, it's player friendly, organizational friendly. Yeah. They're trying to make the game better.
Yeah, and like what we talked about, it wasn't like it extended at 10 games.
Yeah,
it's 2 games.
Two.
But all it does is shorten the preseason a little bit.
All it does is shorten the preseason, but at the same time, you're not having just one game each week. You have two
or three,
maybe three,
to 4 depending on the week.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly. So it's not like you're having to add 2 additional weeks to the season.
Yeah, so it's NHL gets a lot of things right. They get a lot of things wrong too, but the NHL certainly gets a lot of things right. Well, guys, coming up next here, already we're in media days for college football. Already these commissioners are giving their thoughts about the college football playoff. We just cannot settle on anything. We'll discuss that when we return.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Carriers has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay now starting at $20 per hour, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website, southeastcarriers.com, or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Efficiency, reliability, accuracy. Move forward with your real estate sale or purchase with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County, the most experienced closing team around. Working with clients locally and throughout the state, we offer a wide range of services, including the expertise of an on-staff attorney, backed by our more than 49 years experience in titles and closings. We get the job done on time at a fair price and ensure every last detail is correct. Our goal is to give you peace of mind. When you work with us, you work with people who live where you do. We understand the importance of the real estate community and strive to build strong relationships with all parties involved in the process. Whether you're buying a home, selling a business, acquiring land, or anything in between, you're in good hands with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County.
Put the most experienced closing team on your side. Contact Title and Escrow of Lawrence County today.
A&M Medical is Lawrence County's newest medical clinic, specializing in urgent and primary care. Practitioners Andrea Bain and Meredith Hutton bring years of experience and compassion to keep you and your family healthy. A&M Medical features a separate well waiting room to meet your needs. Visit today and ask about A&M's weight loss program and telemedicine services. That's A&M Medical, located at 2367 Highway 43 South in Leoma, Tennessee.
'Cause when I cross that county line, just off Highway 49, it all makes perfect sense. Man, I live for this.
Pat's Cafe and Catering has been proudly serving customers in Lawrenceburg since 1987. For 4 generations, our family-run cafe has served up delicious breakfast and lunch favorites, with friendly service and a welcoming atmosphere. We also offer full-service catering and can help to make your next party or event a success. For great food and friendly faces, visit us today at Pat's Cafe and Catering.
Financial advisor Scott Beasley knows time spent with family is everything. As a founder of Beasley Wealth Management, his mission is to give clients the freedom to enjoy time with family without the burden of financial concerns. A local of Lawrenceburg, Scott deeply values building relationships with clients, ensuring they make informed decisions concerning asset management, tax planning, and retirement planning. Offering a free initial consultation, Beasley Wealth Management helps clients pursue their aspirations with confidence.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Welcome back to X Sports Today. I'm AJ Good with Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, and Hayden Burks. Guys, talking a little college football. Big 12 Media Days, the first of the Power whatever conference. I don't know if we have Power 2, Power 4, Power 5. I'm losing track of all of this. That's right. We don't have the Pac-12 anymore, so we are at the Power 4. So they're in Media Days. The first one of the Power 4, the ACC, SEC, and the Big Ten will eventually have theirs already. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark was asked about the new future of the college football playoff. We've only had 1 year of it being expanded out to 12. At some point, we all know it's going to get expanded to 16. Yep. I think that, for me personally, that it does not need to go beyond that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
I wouldn't be.
I don't think it should have gone past 8. But.
Yeah, I'm sort of with you there. Even though I think 16 adds a little bit more of chances of upsets and more excitement, and plus you play them more on the home sites, which I wish they would do it all up into the championship. That would be a lot of fun. But so the model that they're proposing in the SEC spring meetings had a lot of traction. Big Ten not so much in their meeting, so it's 5-11. So it would be 5 conference champions. So your Power 4 plus your Group of 5, your top highest rated conference champion from the Group of 5, and then 11 automatic bids. Brett Yormark says 5-11 is fair. We want to earn it on the field. Might not be the best solution today for the Big 12, but long term, knowing the progress we're making, the investments we're making, it's the right format for us. And I'm doubling down today on 5-11. Guys, what's your thoughts on a 5-11, which is probably we're going to 16 at some point, but
here. I'll start off with this. I do agree with you. I think 16 is good because that's what the FCS has, if I remember correctly. I believe they have 16.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
It's that or 24.
Which conference?
FCS.
I want to say. I think it's 24.
I think it's 24, but because they give the top 8 seeds a first round bye.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Maybe it used to be 16.
It used to be 16. Yes,
so I was fine with the 16 because I felt like if you were going to do a playoff format, you need to follow kind of what the FCS does because you already have it there. The problem that I don't have a problem with the 5-11. I do feel like you need to give an auto bid to the Power 5 or Power 4 champions, and then give that extra one to whoever is the Group of 5 lead of a conference champion.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And I agree that the rest are going to be your at-large bids. The problem that I have, I don't know if they're still talking about it, I know it was talked about prior, is now you're with the potential for limiting which conference gets a number of at-large bids. I don't like that at all because who's to say that 1 year the SEC is not the best conference, but they have the most.
They get 4
bids.
automatic.
Yeah, they get 4 automatic bids.
Same with the Big
bids.
Ten.
Then you got an 8-4 South Carolina hosting a playoff game, and why?
Why? And so I do not agree with doing that because conference strengths change drastically, not only through the year, but from a year-to-year basis. So you need to just get away with that if you're going to. From the way I see it, my personal preference is. I like the 16. Give the 5 autos. Do the 11 at large, but those 11 at large are going to generally be who's in that playoff poll, who's in the college football poll at that point, and then you just see them accordingly.
1 through 16.
1 through 16. Yeah.
Whatever you want. If you want to do it in a way to where it says, well, you had a slightly better strength of schedule, so you instead of a 5, we're going to give you a 4 or whatnot, but don't make the top 5 seeds conference champions because there's going to be a conference champion in the Big 12 that could be, throwing a name out there, Oklahoma State. Let's say they win it this year.
And they go 8-4.
And they go 8-4.
Yeah.
You're not going to deserve a 2, 3, or 4 seed. You're going to be put in at 12 or something like that. You need to do that.
Or if you do get in and you're a conference champion, you don't deserve a home game in that first round.
Exactly.
You shouldn't. It's just like we said off air in the NCAA tournament, in the basketball tournament. Yeah, you're a conference champion. Or like when we did our Game of Storms when Georgia won the tornado game, they were awful.
Yeah.
And they came in. I think they got a 10 or 11
I think they were 10 or 11 that year.
Yeah, you get that bid, and I do agree that But the way it's going to work out is your conference, more than likely, your conference champion's going to get in anyways. I do like that automatic bids for conference champions because I think that makes the championship Saturday or Fridays worth it. A lot of drama. You're sitting on the edge of your seat. Is that Oklahoma State going to beat 11-1 Baylor? Like we saw a couple of years ago, or was it Baylor that upset Oklahoma State and kept them out of the playoffs?
Baylor did.
Yeah, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat, because it knocked them out of the playoffs. So I like that thought, but I just don't want to get to a point to where, you get 8-4 Oklahoma State. Now, not only do you win, you get a home game, and now here comes 10-2 or 11-1 Penn State or 10-2 Tennessee that's coming into your building. You get beat by 42 points,
and then you look like an idiot.
You look like an idiot. So flip it, make them go on the road to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you were saying, Taylor. I think the big thing is that made everybody mad this year was that the top 4 seeds go to the top 4 highest rated conference champions, and then that 12 seed went to the lowest ranked conference champion out of that group, and it ended up being Clemson this year was a 12, and Boise State was a 4. I think that was terrible. Just the whole way it was structured this year. I think the number 1 team in the country should have been the 1 seed. I think the number 2 team in the country, and all the way down, because in the college football playoff poll, I'll just take Tennessee for example. They were 6 or 7, and they were a 9 seed and had to travel to Ohio State that we didn't realize it just turned into a buzzsaw and ran through everybody not named Notre Dame. And it was, and they had a tough route. Ohio State did. They had to go through Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and Notre Dame within 31 days. So.
And went through like hot
I would say the Tennessee Oregon games weren't even games at that point, but I think. Obviously, I think a Power 4 conference champion should be in no matter what. If you won your conference, you should be in there. But I think the best teams should get the higher seeds, and it should be. And I don't like the buys. I didn't. I talked about that during the break. I didn't like the buys. So if we go to 16 teams, I think it should be 1-16 and 2-15, kind of like each region of the NCAA tournament.
And Division II and the FCS both have 24 teams.
24. Okay.
So, but the way the FCS works, it's top 8 seeds. In all of FCS, regardless of conference affiliation, get a bye. Then there's playing games. The region champions, I'm trying to remember right, in Division II get automatic buys, and then there's playing games, but it's all regional based. So instead of Tennessee and Ohio State would have to go to Oregon, it would be more of a centrally based thing. And Division III has 32 teams.
Well, that was what I was confused about when it comes to with the bowl games. Is they try to make them somewhat locally, but when you get to the playoff, you had a team from Pennsylvania and a team from Idaho playing in the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona. That made no sense. At least the Sugar Bowl somewhat made sense. A team from Georgia and a team from Indiana playing in New Orleans. But. We need to try to have some more regionality type things. I think that would be huge.
I just want them on the home stadiums.
That's what I love.
That's what I love.
Well, that's the thing. Well, like we talked about with these bowl games, even though it was somewhat closer to Boise, that the Fiesta Bowl didn't give either team an advantage. I think if you're a good team, you should be rewarded with playing at home against the lowest rated team or lower rated team than you. You should be given that home game because you earned it. You won your games during the season. You've proven that you should be playing on your home campus at least up to the Final Four or semifinals or national championships.
At some point, you're going to have to bring in those Cotton Bowls, the Fiesta Bowl. At some point, you need to bring in those New Year's Six because they need to have that. They got contracts in place. You're going to have those bowls, and they're going to be playoff.
But save those for semifinals.
Exactly. Save that for the third or fourth, whatever rounds later. Give if you're able to give the first 2 to the home team. The last thing I'll say about this is, honestly, to me, it feels like that they're overcomplicating things. They're overcomplicating it. It sounds like the conferences are trying to one up each other. Whereas SEC, we're going to get 5 bids. Big Ten, you're going to get 4. And like I said. Forget all that. Conferences change from year to year and throughout the season. Go with a format that has proven to work. Go with FCS. If you're going 16, look at what the NCAA tournament does for basketball. Just take one of those regions of 16 teams
and do that
where you will seed them based on their quality yes, you're going to have your auto bids, but your auto bids do not have to be 1 through 4.
Exactly.
You can have an
Yep.
auto bid at 16. You can have an auto bid at 12. Just do a format that has been proven to work.
Well, I think they need to, again, avoid complicating things, because us sitting here talking about this, it's, somebody at home is going to wonder, hey, do you think the 511 thing works? They don't know what the heck I'm talking about.
Right.
We need to make it, simpler for fans, because every year the national championship, at least, once the BCS got involved, it was 1 versus 2.
Yep.
You knew what was going on. I mean, and they rotated the locations through the major 6 bowl games every year. We need to make it simple for the fans, because college football is a lot of that money, that's the NIL money and tickets, stuff like that, comes from the fans.
It is.
You need to serve the fans, and that, I think, in turn will turn back around and service the players and the coaches and the universities.
I ain't even got to say anything. Y'all took everything out of my mouth. Clearly, yeah.
It's a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Well, coming up next, guys, it's Trivia Tuesday. I've got some things. We're going to go to the world of baseball and college sports. I'm going to try to blow these guys' minds. It's coming up next.
Flooring sets the tone throughout your home.
For flooring that makes the right first impression, start by choosing us, Floored by Justin.
A one-stop flooring destination. Our new location stands alone for unequaled customer service and selection. Owner Justin Story's mastery of custom hardwood inlays means every room can have a custom look. Discover how the right choice of hardwood, laminate, carpet, or tile can set the tone in your home. Contact Floored by Justin today.
The storm doesn't ask. It takes. It tests. It pushes everything to its limit. Some things are built different. Some things are built to last. Tested by the elements. Proven by time. Engineered for whatever comes next. Summertown Metals. Strength in every storm. Building dreams that last.
At Florida Mid-South Realty, we pride ourselves on our family values, professional service, and a deep local knowledge. With a small town feel and a personal touch, we're here to help you navigate the real estate process with ease. Whether buying, selling, or renting, you can trust us to guide you every step of the way. And don't forget to catch Florida Rockstars, our live podcast every Tuesday morning at 8. Florida Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Florida Mid-South Realty, your hometown real estate experts.
Volco Auto Supply in Lawrenceburg has a legacy of being a family-owned and operated company. Since 1927, our business has grown and evolved into today's one-stop source for all your automotive supplies. But in that time, one thing has stayed the same, and that's our commitment to our customers and their needs. At Volco Auto Supply, you'll find everything for your car, truck, or even fleet of vehicles, but with good old-fashioned customer service the way it needs to be. That's Volco Auto Supply, 416 Buffalo Road in Lawrenceburg. Visit VolcoAuto.com.
For high school athletes, every game counts. You push your limits and you chase your dreams. But when injury strikes, you need more than just recovery. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedics, we're here to get you back in the game faster and stronger. From cutting-edge treatments to personalized and compassionate care, we're here for your every move. Our specialized team of experts encompass decades of experience in sports-related injuries. Dr. Paul Thomas, Melanie Durham, and Julie Marcus offer the most comprehensive care, from diagnosis to recovery. With advanced treatments and tailored rehabilitation plans, we'll help you heal stronger and faster. Trust Southern Tennessee Orthopedics to keep you at your best, because your future is worth it.
Mac Brown has been providing photographic services for 55 years. During that time, Mac Brown photographers have photographed children, seniors, weddings, schools, musicians, and commercial businesses. The studio takes great pride in producing quality photographs and services for its many clients. While the studio has adapted as times have changed, their goal of providing excellent photography has remained constant. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at macbrownphoto.com or give them a call at 931-762-4263. Let the professionals at Mac Brown Photography turn your memories into treasures.
Good Works at Home, formerly known as The Summit at Home, is a licensed non-skilled agency dedicated to helping you maintain your independence at home for as long as possible. Our compassionate and caring staff provide support in various areas, including dressing, bathing, personal hygiene, transportation, cleaning, and companionship. Please call our office about services, payment options, and long-term care policies at 931-762-2310. We look forward to assisting you with keeping your independence longer.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Welcome back to X Sports Today. AJ Good, joined by Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, and Hayden Burks. And guys, it's Trivia Tuesday where I get a chance to blow their minds. Start off with the world of baseball. Okay. I want you to name the last person for every major league team who had a 200-hit season. But before we go there, I'm going to let you guys stew on it. There's one team in all of Major League Baseball that's never had a 200-hit season from a player.
And see, like, there's random stats. Like, I know that the Bears have never had, like, a 3,000-yard passer before, but 200 hits.
Can you think of the team that's never had the 200-hit season?
Kansas City?
Nope, they've had one.
They have had one.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that'd be more. Yeah. That was their World Series run, I think.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh? No.
They've had one.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to think now they have like Stargell, guys like that.
The last one for the Royals happened last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Bobby Witt, 211.
The only well, I'm just thinking like, they're not a very old franchise. The
Exactly.
Rockies.
No, well, it's not a very old franchise, but the Rockies, Charlie Blackmon.
Oh,
213 and
well, I was thinking
2017.
Todd Hilton probably did it a couple of times.
Yeah, he did do it, but the latest.
Marlins.
Nope,
Was it the Marlins? No.
They've had. Well, think about the guy that almost
Mm-hmm.
hit 400.
Yeah,
Arias.
or Luis Arias.
2023, 203 hits that year.
Okay, so that kind of sets the bar.
Yeah,
but not a old franchise.
No, a new-ish. Created
Newish.
I don't want to give too much away, but it's new-ish. It's not the newest, but it's new-ish.
Are you thinking of the Nationals?
Nope, they've had
because I was thinking the Expos.
Yeah, Vladimir Guerrero.
Vlad Sr.
206 hits. So that's that Nationals Expos.
Expos, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think of Newish teams.
Yeah, I just feel dumb now. Like...
Padres?
No,
Oh, is it the Diamondbacks?
No, the both of them.
Okay, I feel like
Mark Loretta for the Padres, 04.
Yeah.
Gene Segura in 2016
That's
for the
right,
Diamondbacks
Gene
at
Segura.
203. Loretta at 208.
I was about to say Tampa
I'm
Bay,
thinking
but I know that's not.
Houston.
It is Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay.
It's Tampa.
I
Only
thought I heard something. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Evan
crazy. I was going to say
Longoria
Evan
never
Longoria never had 200 hits.
Never had
Wow.
200 hits.
I feel like he might end up being one of those
Wow.
players that
Well, he
everybody
was-
thought
he
was
was
really,
hurt a lot.
really good in their head that may not have actually been that great.
Yeah,
He's
he was
only
like a
like
good
a-
player, but we think he's all the way up.
he had a short window, but he was only like a 250 hitter.
Wow.
And he
That's
was
right.
hurt a lot, too.
Yeah.
You gotta
That's right, he
remember
was
that
hurt a
part.
lot.
So you said the Diamondbacks. How about the Braves? When was their last 200 hit hitter?
I want to say Acuna, but
You're right.
It is
It was
Acuna?
Acuna.
2 years
Either
ago.
him or
2017.
yeah, that's
Baltimore.
right. Him or Freddie. Yeah.
Baltimore. Is it recent?
Mid 2000s.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
geez.
Palmeiro?
No. It's also a guy with some controversy, but not for steroids. Or maybe he was. No, he wasn't.
feel like I can picture him.
Really? Shortstop.
Ripken.
No.
No, it wasn't Cal. Because he retired in early 2000s.
Yeah.
Really good shortstop, talented, really good bat.
Oh, jeez.
What year was this?
2006.
Oh, yeah.
Miguel Tejada.
Tejada.
2014.
Okay.
For the Red Sox?
Red Sox.
2019 was their last 200.
Mookie.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't Mookie?
No.
JD Martinez?
Nope. He just made his way to San Francisco.
Oh, Xander Bogaerts.
No.
No, not Bogaerts?
No.
Oh, just...
No.
Oh, Devers.
Yeah.
Devers had 200
201
hits?
in 2019.
Wow.
The Cubs.
Rizzo?
No.
More recent than Rizzo, or later than Rizzo?
Earlier than Rizzo.
Earlier
He
than
played
Rizzo.
he played with Rizzo, and actually got he got traded away before 2016.
Schwarber. No, he was on that team.
Shortstop, really
Javi
good
Baez?
shortstop. No.
Was he on the Cubs?
Yeah, but he never was a 200 hit hitter.
I'm going to feel really dumb when you say his name because Javi played second base for most of that year.
Starling Castro,
Yep.
2011, 207 hits. The White Sox, Slugger, did it in 1998, and it's not who you think it is.
So it's not Frank Thomas. It would be Adam Dunn?
No.
No?
Oh, that's a good guess.
Oh, gosh. What's his name? Kenny Lofton. Was it him?
No. Albert Bell, 1998, had 200 even hits. Reds happened in 1977.
Well, that's going to be Pete Rose.
Pete Rose.
204. The Cleveland Guardians, Indians, whatever you want to call them, happened in 2014.
It's too early to be like Lindor or someone like that.
It is. It's just before then, though. He was. I think he was on that World Series team. He might have been.
Was it Carlos Santana?
Michael Brantley. Had 200
Oh,
hits.
I forgot he was on the Guardians. Yeah.
We already mentioned the Rockies, the Tigers, 2012.
Cabrera.
Yeah,
Cabrera.
200,
He won the Triple Crown that year.
The Astros in 2017.
Jose Altuve.
Yep, 204. We already mentioned the Royals with Witt, 211 last year. The Angels, 2006.
Oh, before Trout. So that's
Trout has never had a 200 hit.
That's crazy, but he's been hurt a lot.
Yep. I feel like he's in that same conversation with like an Evan Longoria, where he's just like,
I got a really weird name, and this may be way too early. Is it Mike Napoli?
No. It's a guy that we've already mentioned on this list.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Fly Guerrero.
Yeah, he had 200 in 06. The Dodgers happened 2 years ago.
It's not Freddie.
It is Freddie.
I was about to say, if I was going to go Freddie, then Mookie.
That was the year. That was the year after Freddie had that bad season.
We mentioned Arias in 23. Milwaukee.
Yelich?
No, but you can think steroids with this guy. Happened to know.
Oh, Ryan Braun.
Yep, 203. Yep. Minnesota, go back to 1996.
Ooh. Kirby Puckett.
No. And this guy actually has the most on this list.
Minnesota.
96.
Hall of Famer.
Did he play on that 91 World Series team?
Yeah. Oh, I would have to look that up.
I'm trying to.
I want to say he won. I want to say he won a World Series with Toronto in that time frame. But definitely known for Milwaukee, Toronto.
Yeah.
This guy plays for the. This is the last Twins 200 hit season. Okay.
Yeah, 225, which is the most recently on this list.
I feel like it's. I'm blanking.
Yeah,
I feel like it's going to be a name that we're going to know.
Paul Molitor.
Oh, because I think Brewers immediately.
Yeah. The Mets, 2008.
David Wright.
Nope.
That was on the tip of my tongue. That's what
actually never had a 200 hit year.
Wow, and that's another guy that's really surprising. Yep. Okay, 2008 the Mets.
2008 Mets. Oh, jeez.
Shortstop.
I was.
I think he was a shortstop. Left-handed hitter.
Did they have? Was it for call? Did they have for call?
They briefly.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Jose Reyes. 204. The Yankees, 2012.
Derek Jeter.
Yep, 2016. Yep. The A's in 2002. And this is another name we've already had on this list.
Oh, that's part of the. That's the Moneyball.
Yeah.
era.
Well, it was right before, so it wouldn't have been Johnny Damon. Wouldn't have been Jason Giambi. Oh, is it Jason?
No,
not Jason Giambi.
It's on. He would have been on those teams.
Because now I can't. The only thing I can see in my head right now is Chris Pratt and Scott Hatteberg.
Miguel Tejada,
Oh.
2002 at 204. The Phillies, 2007.
Chase Utley. Or no, Ryan Howard.
No, it's not Ryan Howard. It's shortstop. Yeah. He recently retired.
Oh.
I think.
Longer ago.
Or longer ago, yeah. I say recently. There's like, what, 5 years? Or something like that? Like 5 years?
I want to say what happened before.
Oh my gosh, I can pick.
He was on the World Series championship team.
That dude was he's so fast.
Yeah.
He had so many stolen bases. Too.
Oh, that might not be actually be him.
Jimmy Rollins.
Oh,
212. Freddie Sanchez, the last one for the Pirates to do it in 06-200. We mentioned Mark Loretta for the Padres in 04. I'm just going to say you probably won't get this for the Giants. It was 01 with Rich Aurelia.
Really?
He had 206. The Mariners in 2010.
Mariners 2010. Ichiro.
Yep, 214. The Cardinals in 03.
Albert Pujols.
Yep, 212.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was too early.
Rangers in 2011.
Josh Hamilton. No.
On that team though.
Yeah. Was it Nelson Cruz?
No. Mark Teixeira.
No.
2010.
I believe he played second base or outfield.
Oh, Elvis Andrews?
No, he was their shortstop.
No, okay.
Had all those.
And see, and now all I can think is Elvis Andrews and Adrian
Michael
Beltre.
Young had 2.
Oh no, he was their second baseman. Yeah.
And the Blue Jays, I doubt you'll get it. I'll just go ahead and say it. It's Vernon Wells in 03 at 215. So
that was some obscure names.
Yes,
because because I feel like some of those are like
two Vlads and 2 Miguel Tejadas on that list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, those were not the people I would have put to been up there multiple times.
So this is our college question. There are 7 schools this past year that had a NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and WNBA draft pick.
Tennessee.
Nope.
Wow.
Alabama.
No.
Okay. So we have
Go back. So it was NFL,
NBA,
MLB,
and WNBA.
Draft pick.
LSU?
No.
I'll put a weird one out there. Iowa.
No.
No Iowa.
UConn?
Texas.
Yes, UConn is one of the 7.
Is Texas up there?
No.
No Texas. No.
Okay.
You want me to do a conference breakdown?
Sure, we'll do that.
So you already knocked out the American or Big East with UConn. You've got 2 SEC, 2 Big Ten, 1 ACC, 1 Big 12.
South Carolina.
Yes, South Carolina.
South Carolina. Yep.
LSU.
No.
I said LSU.
Trying to think of good
Florida?
women basketball.
No, I don't think Florida. had
Iowa
a good
State for
Nope.
Big 12.
There's only one Big 12 team.
Iowa State doesn't have baseball.
Yeah.
That's right.
You say 2 SEC teams?
Yes.
Well, I feel like the Big Ten.
You already named one.
I already named one. Yeah.
What was the ACC you named?
I named South
I'm going to go ahead and throw
okay.
Michigan and Ohio State out of the way. Just
Michigan is one of them.
Yeah.
Ohio State is not. So you guys have got 3 of the 7.
Women's basketball.
You still got one more Big Ten and one more SEC and ACC and a Big 12.
ECC.
Baylor?
No.
I feel like every single one of us is just mentally going through the NBA draft right now.
Oklahoma.
Virginia Tech wouldn't have had an NBA draft.
Yeah.
Not this year.
Oklahoma is not.
Is not it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of good women's programs.
Yeah, I like where your mind is going. I like where your mind is going.
That's why I
So we got Big 12. Big 12. Texas Tech.
Georgia.
No.
Wow.
That Big 12 is stomping me.
Arkansas?
No.
West Virginia?
Yeah. West Virginia is our Big 12 representative.
Wow.
So that knocks out the Big 12?
Yep. So you got an ACC, a Big 10, and an SEC left.
For some reason,
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Duke.
No.
No, for some reason I'm thinking the ACC team's NC State. No.
You got was Kentucky on there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Kentucky
so
and
that's
South
SEC's
Carolina as the two SEC representatives is a weird
ACC and the
crew.
Big Ten.
I thought Duke would be in there.
ACC and Big Ten, one
Yeah.
each.
Yeah. Duke will hurt you with the NFL because they just don't have a whole lot of it.
They don't. Yeah.
Florida State.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my next pick.
All right. Now
Florida
you got
State,
one
now the
left.
Big
And
Ten.
it's the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
man.
you think good women's basketball programs, you'll find it.
It's not Wisconsin. Stanford.
No.
They didn't have
ACC.
it, and they didn't have a good year this year either.
That's ACC. Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Oh, jeez. Who's Big Ten women's?
A good Big Ten women's. UCLA?
No.
Did we say Indiana?
Oregon?
No, but no.
Okay.
No.
No, but no.
Wisconsin?
No.
Rutgers.
No.
Penn
The
State.
NFL. What's that?
Penn State,
No.
but no.
No, they don't have a good
They're good at
MLB.
Yeah.
That's where they.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great
Oh,
ball.
jeez. Good women's team.
Well, Wisconsin doesn't have a baseball team either, so that takes them out. What would you think of this school is? Would you think of them as a basketball school, a baseball school, a football school?
They can consistently make the baseball, the women's basketball tournament, and they've had some really good men's basketball teams in the past. And football-wise, they're a pretty 7-5 normal.
It ain't Purdue.
6-6, 7-5.
Nebraska.
No.
I feel like I'm just forgetting a team in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Because
They're not an original member, if that helps.
Washington?
No.
they're not one of the new West Coast teams, are they?
No, they're not a West Coast team.
Okay, so
No.
I don't know, Minnesota. let's just start throwing teams out there. Nebraska.
Nope.
Right.
Oh.
I ain't giving up.
Illinois.
Nope.
We've said every school at this
Almost.
point.
It seems like
okay.
there's one in there that we haven't done yet. Who is it?
I'm trying to think of that area, Big Ten.
They neighbor with one of the schools you've already mentioned. That are in the 7. They're a neighbor.
Michigan State?
No.
So it's not Michigan State. It's not Penn State. It's not Ohio State. It's not Indiana. It's not Illinois. It's not Purdue. It's not Northwestern. It's not Minnesota. It's not Nebraska. It's not Wisconsin.
Who are we missing?
Iowa?
Dude, I've said
No, I already said
Iowa.
already said Iowa.
It's not Iowa.
I already said Rutgers.
yeah.
Rutgers not in there.
It's the one team we're not naming.
Who else is in the Big Ten?
We said UCLA. We said
It's not the West Coast teams.
okay. So you see it.
Now I'm just thinking of the
USC's out
map of
door.
the United
That's what I'm
States and
trying
where
to as well.
are we looking
Golly,
at?
like what are we looking at? Where are we in the Michigan State?
No, we already
Oh,
said
we
that.
already said that. Goodness, I've been paying attention.
Can you give us a region of the Big Ten?
They are in the eastern part of it, and they are a neighbor of one of the schools that are in the 7. Like their states neighbor
Pitt?
each other. No.
Oh, I forgot about Pitt. Oh, wait, no, Pitt.
That's ACC. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, Maryland's Big Ten.
Yeah.
Maryland. That's right.
I forgot Maryland had a good women's basketball team.
I was thinking ACC for Maryland, and that's what threw me off. Is after
right.
you said ACC was done.
That's what I was trying. I was trying to knock out. Okay, who are the good women's programs?
And you said East. I'm like Penn
literally
State,
had
Rutgers.
to go from we're naming the teams
Yeah.
to now it's like, well, I'm trying to picture a map of
Yeah. Where in the world is this place in?
So now it makes sense. 7-5
Yeah.
football,
Yep.
really good women's basketball. Men's basketball is hit and miss. And surprising or not, I mean, their baseball
Their baseball
program-
team's
Their baseball
really
program's
good.
in it.
Well,
Yeah.
a couple
Pretty
years
decent.
ago, they had Alabama's coach Rob Vaughn was their
Yeah.
coach,
Yep.
and they hosted a regional
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
I covered a regional where WVU knocked them out. one year.
Ooh.
So at Wake Forest before where they just ran out of pitching and Alex Manoah got ripped by Wake Forest. So coming up next, guys, after a short break, we're gonna. I guess we'll talk Braves and let these guys go on another rant. That's coming up next.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Welcome to Employee Resources Credit Union, where you're more than just a number, you're family. We provide financial solutions that rise above those of traditional banks. With roots stretching back to 1964, we've served 4 generations during constant industry changes. We're known for our low fees and incredible rates. Join us and experience the credit union difference. ERCU, not for profit, for service. A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.
Welcome back to X Sports Today. Wrapping up the show, AJ Good with Taylor Plott, Michael Marks, and Hayden Burks. And the Braves are playing a baseball game tonight.
Has anybody told them? Yeah. Has anybody told them yet?
All right, you got another rant coming, Taylor.
Who they play?
The
Athletics. So there's a chance.
There's a chance, and funny enough, you look at their records, and they're the same basically. I think like 39-50, something like that. Look, at this point, I still want to hold out hope that something's going to turn around, but the time is ticking on the fact where not only are you pretty much out of the division at this point, it seems like, but you're very close to now potentially being completely out of a wild card spot, that last wild card spot. So the way that I view how everything has gone on, yes, this team's definitely still underperforming. I don't know what the heck has been going on with the hitting. I've been seeing people talk about that Tim Hires just needs to get his rear end out of there.
Yeah.
I think this is the first year we've had him. I don't think that we had him last year. Something has changed from a hitting perspective that this team, its hitting problems started last year and has now continued into this year. So I don't know if it's, I would imagine it's a Hires problem. I don't know if you can look up to see when he was. I think he got picked up either this year or last year or something.
Well,
like
they have
that.
the third lowest runs in the National League right now, runs per game. And the thing is usually it's like, okay, maybe we got some prospects coming up. Well, their AAA team's batting around 215. Their AA team's batting around 220. Their two A-level single A affiliates
glad they moved to Columbus, Georgia.
And they're batting around 250. So
I don't know what it is, but the stuff that has. I can't tell you how many games that I've watched where the Braves will get a man on third base, let alone that. I've seen multiple times where they have the bases loaded with no outs, and they don't either get one or no runs.
Strikeout, pop out, strikeout, and you're done.
It's unfathomable what they're doing with runners in scoring position. So something needs to change on the hitting side. The pitching. Yes, it's kind of hot and cold right now, but as a good group,
it's been better.
It's been better. They have one of the better ERAs over the past, I think, month, maybe 2 months at this point in Major League. So,
well, they have the worst record in baseball with a positive run differential.
Yes, that's the other thing. They have a positive run differential, and
they're 2-8 in their last 10.
And they're 11 games. They're 11 games under 500. So it's. I mean.
9.5 back on a wild card spot right now. Miami is 7.5. Arizona, who's even though they're 4-6 in their last 10, 4.5 back. Cincinnati. I mean, I'm looking at this whole bunch in this wild card.
Well, that from St. Louis to Miami, those are all very beatable teams.
Yeah, everyone's losing, and then on the other side, when you look at the standings, the Blue Jays are red hot. They're at the top of the American League because no one can put them away. But
yeah, I don't remember who it was they were playing this weekend, the Blue Jays. But
I mean, you look at the National League wild card. I mean, nobody other than Miami is the hottest team, and they're 7-3 in their last 10. Milwaukee's 6-4 in their last 10. The Mets are 5-5, and the Mets have kind of fallen off.
They have.
And the Phillies haven't been playing great, and the Phillies still found a way to overtake.
They did, and it's just.
Well, the Phillies need to find a bat. They have had great pitching all season, and they finally just they need to get some hits. You know, you're not getting a lot out of Trey Turner, who's an all-star snub.
Harper's hurt. Still.
Yeah. Harper's down. Castellanos isn't. You're going to be like a 300 hitter for you. Brandon Marsh, guys like that aren't going to be, your number one hitter. But you got to have somebody step up.
You do, and it just going back to the Braves' perspective. It just. At this point, I want to see the team turn around, but I'm basically calling it at this point, and I can eat my words. I will be glad to eat my words. They won't make the playoffs this year. They're too far gone at this point. Just try to get something positive that you can carry into next season. Something's got to change with the hitting. If that is hires having to get fired and gone, I'm still not on board that Snicker needs to go. I still think that he's trying to do the best he can do because you got to look at it. Look at the lineup in the pitching rotation now compared to what it was opening day.
Mm-hmm.
You lost Strider for a little bit. He's back now. He's starting to get his act together. You got Acuna back. He's doing fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really helping the record, but at least you have that productive bat. But you've lost Chris Sale basically for almost the entirety of the remaining season now. Spencer Schwellenbach, I believe he's the one that had fracture or something. He's now on the 60-day IL, so his season's almost basically completely over at this point. You've got a completely different look. Flush it. See if you can get better. But at this point, I don't think they're making the playoffs. But like I said, I'll eat my words gladly.
Hopefully this is a good break with the All-Star break coming up. Maybe they do something at the deadline, but I'm with you. We're literally about to lose to a team with no name.
Well, Hayden, what we talked about on I believe it was Thursday, we talked about this. It looked like all of the fourth place teams across the American National League were those teams that had high hopes heading into the season, and it just hadn't turned out for them.
Boston, Cleveland, Texas,
exactly.
Atlanta, Cincinnati, Arizona.
Well, since then, Boston's won 7 of their last 10. They won 2 out of 3 against Cincinnati, had a sweep of Washington, and now they're hopefully starting a sweep of the Rockies. The Royals were in 4th last week. They've bumped up to 2nd place. I mean, that the Central is just who fighting for 2nd place. The Rangers are still in that 4th place spot. I don't know what they are. I'm really confused because every time I watch them, Nathan Eovaldi's having a great year, Jacob deGrom's having a great year, and nobody can hit a baseball. They are it kind of feels like they're the American League version of the Braves.
It is.
And then you go to the National League. Well, the Braves, they're on a 4-game losing skid. They haven't really improved much. Neither have the Reds. The Diamondbacks are kind of teetering. I mean, it's weird in the National League because it seems like everybody's trying to lose for some reason. I mean, you look at these teams near the bottom and they're 4-6 or 5-5 in their last 10. So
the thing, I think we mentioned this last time, that pack that we just talked about. Someone's going to get hot in that pack. Someone's going to get it. Who is it going to be? Right now, I don't. Like I said, I hope I eat my words. I don't think it's the Braves, but they could easily. They still.
Hey, they can still win 112 games.
They can definitely win out.
There's a lot there for the taking. I mean, because no one has taken really grasp of the wild card. I mean, it's
because it's the Tigers, it's the Dodgers, and then everybody else fighting for it, and it's going to be fun to see one of those teams with probably 88 wins make the playoffs and maybe upset the Dodgers, maybe upset the Tigers.
Someone out of that pack is going to be the team that's going to end up potentially making that run in the postseason, but is going to separate themselves from that group and now be considered part of that top tier going into the postseason. It's just a question of who it is because right now I can't tell you who it's going to be.
And it's tough looking the AL East because the Blue Jays have won 9 out of the last 10 and look like the best team in the world, and they have a series with the White Sox coming up, so that's only going to increase.
And they won it last night. Well, guys, another great show tomorrow. We're going to be breaking down skill position groups in the NFL. ESPN released a poll. We're going to respond to it with some kind of expected and unexpected ones, and we'll have probably a Hayden Burks Tennessee Titans rant, no doubt, about that tomorrow. So for Taylor Plott, for Michael Marks, Hayden Burks, I'm AJ Good. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 1:30 sharp.
Going the distance for local sports. This is X Sports Today.